Tight shoulders, hunch. I was sitting under a failing light. My chest was pressed down by a weight I recognized instantly, the to-do list. It was a long, brutal scroll of undone projects. I sat there, ready to sacrifice the next few hours to the god of the tick mark. The hunch itself was the result of a tragicomic attempt to control the universe with a single sheet of paper. This is what I do, isn't it? I invent the game, then I play it relentlessly. I decided that value exists only in the future, once this is done. I had decided the way to fix the low energy was to do more. I learned the language of hustle, grind, push, achieve, and called it aspiration, when in truth it was the language of giving up life and calling it success. To power through the resistance, the strategy was simple, even noble. Do the research, tick the box, earn the right to breathe later. The list was not just a list of tasks, it was a scoreboard for my own worth. Every undone item was a small, quiet failure. Every completed one was a fleeting hit of synthetic relief. I lived in a perpetual argument. The past said what I should have done, the future said what I must do. The present was just a narrow, hunched over highway between the two. The whole process was a setup, a trick of the mind. I kept chasing external validation, believing the tension in my chest was the necessary price of performance. I thought I needed that inner strain, that constant push to get anything done at all. The tension wasn't a motivator, it was a symptom of my complete misunderstanding. I was exhausted because holding up the sky is heavy work for a stiff neck. I remembered the false resolution I was building. I convinced myself that the real solution wasn't to stop doing, but to do smarter. The logic was perfect. It was the kind of thinking I used when I was absolutely committed to solving the very problem my thinking created. I became a professional escape artist, perpetually designing bigger, better cages. I built a massive debt of almost there and called it ambition, not realizing that the peace I was running toward is already standing behind the effort I was making. The tension in my body was the engine of my performance. That tight, closed-off posture was a physical monument to my chasing. If I could just catch the finish line, then the tension would melt. But the finish line kept moving. I picked up the book. The chest was still tight, the jaw locked. The words hit me like a misplaced punchline. Things began happening to him once he stopped looking altogether. The whole system collapsed. It wasn't a lesson in how to chase better. It was an instruction to drop the chase entirely. The logic I had built my entire identity upon, the one that said pursuit equals worth, suddenly looked like a cheap carnival game. I had been trying to find the key to the cage, but the key was just the realization that the door was never locked. The ultimate act of striving is the absolute refusal to strive. My body responded with an involuntary spasm of lightness. The tension in my shoulders began to dissolve, not through effort, but through a colossal, joyful misunderstanding of the whole game. A massive weight lifted from my shoulders, the weight of my own manufactured importance. The chest opened. The list was still a list, but the internal debt collector had been fired. I could finally sit straight, not because I'd achieved something, but because I had dropped something. All the projects were still there, but they no longer felt like a threat. The pressure was gone. I was fully lightly present in the next thing, whatever it was. Who is the debt collector? If you are the one printing the invoices,